Hi guys, I'm Sean. This is Alyssa. Gus is in our hearts, and this is in our rabbit hole daily. And we are back, folks. As you know, or maybe you don't know, we are about to react to URI. Every single scene, the entire movie. And so in order to prepare for that, we've done a couple of things so far. We sort of refreshed ourselves on the situation in Kashmir, learned a little bit more about the partition between India and Pakistan. And then we watched a whole lecture, which quite frankly, both of us maybe got like 10% of, but we're still glad that we watched it. And we're glad that we know more now than we did before. Yeah. And we felt like maybe the third and final thing to do before we jump into that full movie is to take a look at the real story. And so this right here is URI Avenged. India executes surgical. Oh, I was trying to read the subtitle there.
Surgical strikes.
Surgical strikes. Top five facts.
This was sent in to the subreddit
by Commando Rathora.
Yes.
Thank you so much, my friend. And so there was a bit of back and forth in the comments. You know, should you learn more? Should you not learn anything?
Should we not talk about politics?
I think the consensus was in general that we should check out a little bit before we jump into the movie. I think it's going to make the movie more meaningful.
You mean, should we learn before we watch the movie? I thought you were talking about
politics in general.
In general, people were like, stay away.
Yeah, probably we shouldn't be involved. But we're just trying to learn here, guys. We don't know anything. We're just a couple of dummies.
So this is posted by Defense Updates. Do we need to read the description here, maybe?
On 18th September, 19 Indian soldiers were killed in a militant attack in URI in Baramulla district. 4 militants attacked the Indian Army Brigade headquarters in URI near the line of control in a pre-dawn ambush. The attack was initiated at about 5:30 a.m.
It's too long to read the whole thing, so it's probably in the video.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then they're talking about what they did, which was lob some grenades, etc., from what I was seeing.
Yeah. Jeez. Okay.
Whoa.
On 18th of September, 19 Indian soldiers were killed in a militant attack in Uri area of Baramulla district. 4 militants attacked the Indian Army Brigade headquarters in Uri, near the line of control in a pre-dawn ambush. The attack was initiated at about 5:30 a.m. Militants lobbed 17 grenades in 3 minutes. A rear administrative base camp with tense caught fire, resulting in death of Indian Army men. After the attacks, the details emerged and were disclosed by DGMO, Director Generals of Military Operation, Ranbir Singh. DGMO shared the list of objects recovered from dead terrorists. 4 AK-47 rifles, 4 grenade launchers, 4 underbarrel grenade launchers, 39 underbarrel grenades, 5 hand grenades, 2 radio sets, 2 global positioning systems, 2 map sheets, 2 metric sheets, large quantity of food and medicine packets. All of these had marking of Pakistan. India has been on the receiving end of Pakistan-sponsored terrorism for a long time. Let us understand the background. On 16th of December 1971, the war in East Pakistan came to an end, when the Pakistani army led by General Niazi surrendered to the Indian army led by General J.S. Arora. To learn more, check the video on above card. This humiliation is engraved in Pakistan's military establishment, and there is always a never-ending thought of revenge in Pakistan's side. But they also realize that they cannot defeat India in a face-to-face war. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto promised of 1,000-year war, and General Zia formulated this strategy to bleed India through 1,000 cuts. Pakistan has been actively pursuing this strategy ever since. There is also another aspect. Enmity with India is an instrument to stoke the nationalist fervor inside the common people of Pakistan. Kashmir issue is also kept alive so that Indo-Pak relation is never normal, and a constant state of tension is maintained.
It's
That's what
interesting
that
because a
other
lot of
lady
this
was sort
stuff
of
is
saying.
actually tying together with what that woman was saying in that last. Like,
do we
that
know
woman,
her,
I know.
do you
that's
know her
awful.
name?
We should.
We need to say
Yeah.
her name. We can't just be like that lady.
That lady,
It was-
that smart gal.
It was
Yeah.
C. Christine. What was her last name,
Let's
Sean?
find out here. We'll find out. Christine Fair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was. She had a lot of insights
C.
to
Christine
offer.
Fair. That's how she spells it.
This helps the Pakistan military and ISI massively. Here is how. Financial angle. In a country like Pakistan, which will go bankrupt in 15 days with
Wow.
It's nice because then this is good after that whole lecture because she, this is explained more in simple terms.
Succinctly,
And
yeah.
it's also because she was using all these like special terms and all this and that. And then my question was sort of like, oh, what is the main reason of this whole thing? But then also, okay, because she had been saying that like it's almost kind of like a miracle that Pakistan had survived, that they were able to have survived. This is like sort of explaining that.
Okay. Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, how did they?
Yeah.
Which she sort of did.
I want to move
This
your
is
mic
just-
a little bit.
This is summing it up, is what it's doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's wrong with my mic?
Well, it's it's more that your chin's over top of your mic as opposed
Yeah,
to
I
you
can
speaking
because I
into
don't want to have to like bend over.
All
So I'm
right,
always
okay.
trying to like get the right mic
Move
position.
it a little bit forward. That's all.
Okay.
financial angle. In a country like Pakistan, which will go bankrupt in 15 days without foreign funding, the Pakistan military and ISI officials enjoy life of luxury at the expense of common people. They use propaganda to make sure that common people of Pakistan are made to think that India wants to attack Pakistan and project themselves.
That's what she meant
as
by
protectors.
security state, right?
By doing so, they devour the major chunk of country's resources.
Or security reasons, whatever, for what they do. That's what she was. Because it's making sense now.
And foreign funding, leaving the people of Pakistan with peanuts. Political angle. Pakistan military and ISI have also been able to dictate terms to civilian government and have made the democratically elected government a puppet in their hands. Pakistan military and ISI basically runs the country by proxy and uses the faces of civilian leadership to secure international acceptance and monetary aid. URI attack has been a tipping point both for the political class as well as the common people of India. PM Modi tweeted, "We strongly condemn the cowardly terror attack in URI. I assure the nation that those behind this despicable attack will not go unpunished."
Sorry, what year was the attack again? He
Jeez.
tweeted it, so it was like, how
Yeah.
recent would it have been? Sorry, I'm asking you questions you don't know. Okay.
DGMO Lieutenant General Ranbir Singh said, "We have the desired capability to respond to such blatant acts of aggression and violence as deemed appropriate by us." He further added, "We reserve the right to respond at a time and place of our choosing." There has also been widespread condemnation by international community.
The music's so creepy.
DGMO Lieutenant General Ranbir Singh said that there were very specific and credible information that some terrorist units had positioned themselves to infiltrate. Ajit Doval, the National Security Advisor of India, was the brain behind the operation, and he oversaw the operation personally. Though full details are not disclosed yet, 5 crack teams were formed, each having about 20 to 25 commandos. ISRO's Cartosat-2C images helped with narrowing down the locations for the strikes. Cartosat-2C has high-resolution camera
Wow.
and is able to shoot still images as
Satellite?
well as videos.
Yeah, very high tech.
The army had kept the LOC over an arc of 250 kilometers under surveillance for the past weeks. As a diversionary tactic, shelling on various posts on the other side had started by 9 p.m. previous night to confuse the Pakistan army. A surgical strike is basically a military attack which results in only damage to the intended legitimate military target, and no or minimal collateral damage. Surgical strikes are generally swift and are pre-planned. The attack platoon of 6 Bihar and 10 Dogra units were made part of the surgical operations as they were familiar with the terrain. It also gave them a sense of responsibility in avenging the deaths of their fellow army men. Both units suffered losses in the URI terror attack. Commandos were equipped with Teva and M4 guns, grenades, and smoke grenades. They also carried under-barrel grenade launchers, UBGL, and night vision devices. They wore camera-mounted helmets. The commandos were airdropped at the LOC, from where they crossed over to the Pakistani side. According to reports, paratroopers from special forces were involved. The army commandos crawled through mud, rocks and even landmines for about 3 kilometers. Their destinations included 7 launch pads where a large number of terrorists had gathered. The launch pads were for terrorists waiting to infiltrate into the Indian side of the LOC to carry out terror attacks in the country. These were located in Bimbar, Kel, Tutapani and Lipa areas. After reaching the target spot at about 2 a.m., the commandos used the element of surprise to mount rapid and deadly attacks on the enemy. It is estimated that about 50 terrorists have been neutralized along with 2 Pakistani army troopers, who were there to protect them. The gunfight lasted 3 to 4 hours. All the commando teams had returned to the Indian side of the LOC by 4:30 a.m.
Number 1.
The need to teach a lesson to the Pakistani establishment was being keenly experienced in the top rungs of the Indian government in the light of inflamed public opinion following the URI attack. There is a need to impose some costs, a member of ruling party, BJP, said a day before the cross-LOC strikes, summing up the mood. It was paramount that India strike back, as without that, it will be taken for granted by Pakistan. Vajpayee displayed the political conviction in conducting Pokhran too. But Vajpayee, despite a massive mobilization after the 2001 attack on Parliament, did not cross the LOC. PM Modi did. This marks a historical strategic policy shift by India.
Is the LOC
Forces
like the
always
border?
had the capability to answer the enemies in a decisive manner. It's that the previous leaders had tied their hands. This is a major step towards India shunning the image of soft power. India has stood up to its enemies and has sent a strong signal not only to Pakistan but also to the world.
Thanks
Don't
for
mess with
watching.
us.
Subscribe for more videos.
Wow.
about
Jace.
The history
Hit the like
series
button if you
looks
find the video
interesting.
Oh my gosh, we could be here all day.
In the comment section. This will help us improve.
There's just so much that we don't know. And
Wow.
actually, there was a fellow, I hope he's still watching us, who had sent me a number of different videos about the Indian military. And I'm like, hey, we're going to check them out. I promise. And we still haven't gotten
Oh,
to it. So
geez.
that's something I would definitely like to get to at some point. And I think it sort of ties into that. So what do you guys think? Would you like to see us do some more reactions to some videos on the Indian military? Let us know.
Or is it getting too political?
Yeah, I guess I have a feeling we're going to have people on both sides of the fence.
Well,
there.
IRH Daily doesn't shy away from controversy.
I guess not. That being said, we're still going to do fun stuff. So, and if you'd like to be available and notified when that fun stuff comes out, well, then we're going to ask you to click that subscribe button. Click the little bell icon. Choose all from the drop-down menu so you can get updated
Every time I upload a new video. If you enjoy this video, please let us know by clicking the thumbs up button. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. You can send in recommendations to our email, irhsubtitles@gmail.com. Or you can post them to the subreddit feed, which is where we got this reaction from.
It's where the IRH family hangs out. We
Gathers.
post memes and all sorts of other fun stuff, so you want to check
You
that
wanna
out.
join.
And if you want to support the channel in other ways, we've got some links down there, guys. You can send us a few dollars if you're able to, and it helps a whole lot. We love you a whole lot. This is your Net Rabbit Hole Daily.
IRH,
signing
bye
off.
guys.
Bye-bye, guys.